Hello, everybody. I hope you don't need any privacy, Aylin. Oh man, I thought you were just peeing. Are you doing a poo-poo? Yeah, I think you're doing a poo-poo. Okay, well, we'll give you some privacy, but that works well because the video I am about to make, or the little update I'm going to make, is that Aylin is potty trained. And I know it's a kind of a controversial issue because nowadays it's much more normal to wait till you're like 2 or 3 until the kid is more like ready themselves and showing signs and stuff. But I just wanted to make this for those of you out there that have kids that aren't potty trained and are still little, and just want to hear how we did it with a really young kid, because I started her at like 16, 17 months with this. So basically I had learned, or I had heard, that our grandmother's generation, which is true, I think if you ask actually even your parents, it was more like the average was 18 months is what I read for potty trained babies. And now it's 32 months. And so I thought, like, and most of my friends, their kids are 2 or 3 and not potty trained, or are maybe starting or something, just starting at like almost 3. And so I started thinking, like, okay, if there was an average back then, like, that means it was doable, and I don't think kids were like scarred from it. So, oh look, she's talking on the phone. Anyway, so I read some blog posts on how to do it, and we had done some of that, like that elimination communication when she was really little, and stopped at about 8 or 9 months, mostly like 9 months because we were in the States, and she kind of just didn't want to do it anymore, refused to sit on the toilet. So we waited, and then at about 16, 17 months, I was just starting to stop nursing her so we could get pregnant, because I couldn't get pregnant, by the way, until I fully stopped breastfeeding, even though I had my period. I had this little pot, bought this potty from IKEA. Do you want me to wipe? I'll wipe you after. I had this little potty. I started letting her run around since it was getting warmer without clothes on in the house, just a top or a dress, and then every time she peed or pooed, I would just run her, like, never, they said it's really important, like, you never, like, shame them, obviously, or it's never a problem that she went on the floor, just, run her over, sit her down, didn't do any rewards or anything, just, like, kept showing her, and I would use it a couple times to show her how we do it, how it's coming out, all this stuff, so she could, like, really see, and then we would clap, and she almost, like, never, I think I got, like, in those first 2 months, like, a couple times. Even pee, it was like her brain wasn't even registering that she was going. She was just going, and it was like, oh, you peed. So I got kind of discouraged probably about a month and a half or 2 months in of doing this. But Kevin actually kept me going, because one day Aylin peed, or started to pee, and Kevin was like, oh, no, and she stopped, and then brought her, and I was like, she probably is already gone, it's fine. But he brought her to the toilet, and she finished on the toilet. And that was like, what? That's amazing. And then she had that happen a couple of times with pooping and stuff. And so we just kind of kept at it. And then I'd say I think it's been over a month now, she's been potty trained. She's potty trained at 19 months, so about 6 weeks. It was like something started to click in her mind. She was already trying to say, like, fee-fee and foo-foo. She didn't know which was which, but she was trying. And so it was like something switched on in her head, that she would say it as it was coming, and we would run. And then she started being able to, like, kind of hold it until I would get her all the way to the toilet, and then she would go. And within, like, then a week span, it was like something clicked. And she would tell me, and then we would go. Tell me, we would go. And so right away I kind of started, like, testing her with undies and going out of the house for half hour, 2 hours, and even in that first week it was already sticking her. If we were out of the house at someone else's house and she said poo-poo or something, I'd run her and sit her on the toilet, hug her. I have to kind of sit on the ground, hug her so she can relax. And she pooped and peed in that first week in the toilet out of the house. So I know that she is, she does things kind of earlier, so I don't know what a second kid would be like, so I guess we'll have to see what that looks like for early potty training with a boy. I know boys are a little bit harder, but actually what I read was encouraging for boys too, of doing it early. And here are my reasons why you should consider, if you have a little baby, why you should consider doing it earlier rather than waiting. This is my theory, is that I feel like even now she's getting more and more independent and stubborn, and I feel like they get more of a will of their own, and they're less wanting to please you with everything, whereas like now and a couple months ago it was like everything. She wanted to like everything's exciting, I clap, we clap, she claps, she would clap even when she didn't do it. So I feel like we never had to use rewards because of that, and they're just learning so much new stuff. Whereas like I think when a kid is 2.5 or 3, I see with some people I know that like it's like they're coaxing them and trying and begging them and I'll buy you this or whatever if you go. So I think it might be actually easier when they're younger. She still wears a diaper for her nap and at nighttime and on the plane because she peed on me. I was kind of being too risky and she peed all over me on the airplane. But yeah, so we're not going to push the night thing yet. She sleeps like 12 hours a night. But anyway, that's our update on potty training. And we had a little bit of regression. We did great in Turkey. We brought her potty with us in the suitcase, and we did great there. And then coming back, like the week after we came back, it was like she just didn't care, and she was just peeing in her underwear and diaper, and I don't know, or underwear when we were out of the house, just peeing. But thankfully that has stopped. She did that for a week. One evening she did it 3 times while we had people over. The excitement, then she was forgetting. But anyway, it's been very encouraging, and it's so much more fun to have a potty trained baby than I was doing cloth diapers, so washing poop out of diapers was nasty. So this is great. Anyway, hope that's encouraging for anyone that needs it. Bye!